YouTube, it's Tracy from Entrepreneur Girl, and today is Tracy's Tuesday Tips, and we are going to be talking about the 127 yard sale. They are leaving Kokomo, Indiana, and all the farms and all the corn, and we are heading to Ohio, which is where my sister lives. So that's going to be our starting place for the 127 yard sale. And if you don't know about it, go to www.127yardsale.com. Yard sales are really awesome because it's a great way to stock up on inventory that you can then list, you know, for weeks or months to come, depending on how much you get, and get some really great finds, because nothing is truly better than a garage sale for profit margin, because you can find new in the box, you can find name brand, you can find odd eccentric pieces, you can find little treasures that people don't know what they have and they're just letting it go for $1. And vintage, I love to find vintage, and then you can turn around and list those things on eBay and Amazon for a really good profit. These really long garage sales are opportunities to spend 4 days planning a garage sale trip and bringing a trailer or an SUV like we have here, and really just putting your seats down and loading up. So bring cash, bring snacks, bring anything that you think you might need, because it's kind of crazy and busy. It goes from all the way from Alabama to Ohio along the route of Highway 127. Miss it this year, that's okay. You can kind of see what it's all about and then make your plans for next year. All right, here we go. My sister Tina. There she is! For the garage sale fest. Ta-da!
Buy one, get one free.
Alright. Nothing? Had I not just bought some, I'd probably do it for person. Yeah, I do it.
You can go to Florida. I want to go to the Florida hotel with you too.
Garage sale. Parking's pretty rough. Garage sales all down the street. Here too. So we just parked and now we're walking. Okay, good. So we wait until the next garage sale, because look, there's one right across the street. New in the package. $1.
Yeah.
Things look good.
Oh, these pretend spots.
Lots of things. We are at the fairgrounds now. Educational business.
Mom,
Hmm?
look.
Oh, that's funny. Void bears $1 each.
This would work for my candy stuff too, but they've got these little chairs for $1.
Aw, how cute.
I think they would be cute at a craft show that was good. You know, filled with candy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for $1, that's a steal.
Do you like this basket? It's kind of yucky.
They have to put something down since it's like moldy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chairs are a steal for $1. Hi,
Afternoon.
how are you?
All right.
Tina, there's those crates.
Hot.
I know, like,
I left the car ready.
wow. I
That way
decided to
I
do
could
that.
get the boost of.
That's the beauty of having
It's a candle.
meteorologist. They all have a different
Candle
thing.
maker.
What's going to happen, right? I think mine says 3 o'clock.
Oh, it's a lot of things.
That was 2 o'clock, so it's 6.
Everyone else supposed to be back this far.
We find any. And even e-trucks. This is why you go. Garage sale, garage sale, garage sale. Just all the way down the road. I think we've been garage selling now for 2 hours. We've probably made it 3 blocks, I'm guessing. That's how many there are. These are the kind of mirrors I like to put in front of vanities, Tina. How cute. Carts to carry all of our stuff. Be careful of all the glass boys.
Come on, want this?
No, I don't want that, but thank you for thinking of me.
Come on, here, I can buy this. For my room. Is that a space room? I can have some.
The phone. These are tomatoes that you can have for free if you want to eat one.
Oh, that's really nice and cool.
Great, I just bought a makeup bag for $40.
Can't talk him out of the cookie wrap.
You don't need a cookie wrap.
Did it work for cards?
You don't need another card wrap.
Yes, I do. Does she know anything?
Apparently she does not. I'll scan a couple things and new in the box. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. I'm so glad that I went and I was able to really immerse myself in the sale with my sister and my niece. We had a really great time doing this garage sale, so I want to encourage you to do it. And if you do, I have some tips, some things that I learned from doing the process that I just want to leave you with today. Sale is at a different time every year. So a couple years ago, it was Saturday through Tuesday. This year it was Thursday through Sunday. So it's good to be mindful of when the sale is and to plan months in advance. And the second thing I learned is that there are garage sales that set up before the Thursday date in kind of anticipation of people being in the area. I didn't know that, so I could have capitalized on that, had I gone on Tuesday or Wednesday, because there were a lot of sales set up in advance. Also, there were sales set up that wasn't on Highway 127. As I was driving to Ohio to meet my sister, there were just a lot more garage sales than there typically are. The third thing is the time frame. On the website, it pretty much said that places were open, at daylight, and they stayed open until sunset. I didn't so much find that to be true, at least for me in the area I hit, because I found that it was more like sometimes 8 or 9 o'clock before places would open. And then we were pretty much out of places to go come dinner time. There were tables set out, but they were all covered with blue tarps where people had, just called it a day. So I was kind of bummed about that because I thought we were going to get a lot more hours in. Going with people is a lot of fun. However, it does slow you down. So you have to kind of decide in advance, do you want to marathon inventory this, or are you kind of looking just to relax and have fun with it too? I'm really glad I went with my sister. I think I'm more where I would want to be social and hang out. But if you're looking to really accumulate inventory, which this is a great opportunity to do that, then you might want to consider just going by yourself. It's just a lot easier. You kind of go at your own pace. You don't have to stay places where you don't find anything. You can move faster than others. You can sleep in your vehicle, more easily. It's just easier. I didn't have hotel reservations, and there were no hotels anywhere that weren't completely booked up. And I also noted that they were way more expensive than normal. I want to say like double. I actually was quoted $300 and something for a hotel that did have a room available. Other considerations that you may not think of would be the campgrounds. I didn't see where anybody was utilizing the campgrounds, and some of our best memories have been sleeping in the van, with the pillow and blanket, lighting a fire at the campsite, and cooking hot dogs and marshmallows over the fire for our dinner. Not only is it inexpensive, but it's also just fun, and you can kind of just stop when you want to stop. You don't have to stop at some pre-designated hotel reservation stop. If you make it further, great. If you don't, that's okay too. Plan the mileage that you're going to try to cover every day. I don't know how anybody does it. If you know, please put it in the comments below, because this garage sale goes all the way from Alabama to Ohio. In one day, I didn't even make it out of one town in the whole day. Know how people are managing, or if they're managing, to actually go to all of these states. If you plan in advance, you can kind of be able to utilize Craigslist or Facebook garage sale groups, or any kind of garage sale app for that matter, or gsalr.com, because that can tell you about the garage sales. The larger garage sales tend to post about 2 weeks before they happen, and you can kind of scope them out. Maybe that's the trick, is to find the ones that you really want to go to, that has the merchandise that you really want, and then just kind of pick and choose and not try to hit all of them like I was trying to do. Okay, I talked about packing things in the car, and I was really glad that I thought to pack snacks and some of the things that I had already told you. What I wanted to add is I wish I had brought boxes in the car. Actually, what I wish I had done was cleared out the whole back of the car, laid the seats flat, put down a sheet to protect my car, and then laid out a couple boxes on the side. And that way, all of those small things that I didn't want to get damaged, I could have put in the boxes. Also, if I had brought some type of packing, whether it's little rags or bubble wrap that we all have, something so that if it was glass or was valuable, I could have packed it up a little bit. I kind of worried about that on the way home, especially with the kids, and some things did get beat up just with the drive and with the traveling home. I brought a purse. I would not do that if I did it again. I was kind of thinking what I would do is maybe bring a backpack because it kind of doubles. I could keep my cash, you know, my cell phone and everything in the front pocket of the backpack, but then I could also use the back of it to put things that I was buying, because you have to park and then walk sometimes whole blocks because the parking is so difficult. And you know, you're just going from door to door to door at the garage sale, so you're doing a lot of walking and you're carrying all of these bags. So with the backpack, it could be up, it could be out of the way, I could be putting stuff in it, and I can have easy access to, you know, the important like cash and stuff that I brought, which of course you have to have cash, and you're probably going to spend more than you're thinking. So that would be another reason to plan way in advance, is so that you can have a lot of cash. I would not keep all the cash in your pocket. I would not keep it in an envelope. I wouldn't even keep it all in one place, because you know, as you're pulling things out of your pocket, things are falling on the ground, people see you with all the cash. So I think it was just better maybe to keep, you know, part of it in my car someplace hidden, and then part of it on me as I was garage selling, and then as I needed more cash, just kind of, you know, getting into my stash. I wish I had wore more comfortable clothing, maybe like yoga pants and tennis shoes, because you know, at the end of the day, you are pretty wore out. I was exhausted and tired, and my legs hurt, and some of the clothes rub you wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. I wore long sleeves even though it was thin. It was like 90 degrees, so I need to think through my clothing more. Toilet paper, I'm not going to go into that, but let's just say, yeah, you need to bring toilet paper and a cooler. Not a large cooler because you want every available inch for your product, but like a small cooler would be great, because cold drinks really help, and snacks. Actually, probably more snacks than drinks, because one thing I did find is that most of the garage sales offered drinks, kind of like in a time crunch. So I just wanted to move and shop, and I didn't want to like go to a restaurant, you know, so like little things like cheese sticks or crackers, or, you know, something that I could munch on while keep moving. I wish I had planned better for that. My favorite 3 places to go were the barn sales, and there were a lot of them because these roads kind of take you through quaint towns, and a lot of them are barns, which also brings me to the point where probably the most product that I found was antiques, antiques or antique furniture. Other places I liked were the churches. I like the big church sales. I found a lot of great deals there. My sister took me to a fairgrounds that just had a bunch of people set up there, and I liked that spot too. The place I liked the least was probably the tents on the side of the road. I felt that maybe they were companies, they weren't like true garage sales, and the prices reflected that, or they were selling like new product. It wasn't like a garage sale, and their prices were high. Actually, I found that some of the garage sales, the prices were higher than I thought would be typical for a garage sale. And I kind of questioned whether people were purposely doing that because they knew of all the traffic they were going to get. So they were like trying to price their items higher. So sometimes you could tell right away. If I walked into a garage sale and everything seemed high, I just left and went on to the next garage sale. And then you go to a garage sale and you're like, oh my gosh, they have like so many good things. And I'm using my phone and my scanning app just as hard and fast as I can. You know, those are the places that I paused and took my time at. Okay, unpacking the car. I wish I took more pictures of my car to show you. It was just crammed pack. In front of the kids' feet, beside the kids. I was just going to the garage sales and just kind of, you know, throwing it in the car. And I would so not do that again. I would bring the boxes, I would pack them very strategically. You really have to use every inch of space well, in order to get the maximum amount of stuff in there, because there's just so many garage sales and there's just so much that you can buy, and there are so many good deals, and you really could pack it to the top. Okay, last thing, negotiation. I found being friendly, that first impression, you know, to always like greet the person that was at the garage sale, like, hey, you know, how's it going? Just any little greeting was kind of a good start, and kind of like a friendly banter. There were garage sales that had the fun boxes, and I thought that was a great marketing idea. So if you're out there and you're doing this type of product, you know, like a fun box or a happy box or a birthday box, I thought that was great, you know, to sell a box of stuff for $5. So, you know, making that banter with them and getting to know them helped me with getting the prices that I wanted later when I had my arms full. The day of the week helps with negotiation. If you're at the beginning of the week and they still have several days to go through, of course, they're going to be less likely to negotiate on that last day. They really don't want to take the stuff home, and they're just trying, you know, kind of pushing it at you. The weather, we ran into some weather this weekend. There was some rain and some, you know, when it started to look cloudy and stormy and people were like kind of rushing to cover their stuff, was a great time to negotiate, because the weather was like, maybe we're not going to be able to have this sale today. And anybody, if something is $1 and, you know, you can triple or, you know, 6 times your money, don't try to get it for a quarter. I mean, I'm always the one to negotiate, but don't offend. So if something is a really good price, just be happy with it. Only negotiate on those things that, you know, you really feel like you should be negotiating on, because you don't want to be rude and, you know, make it just difficult and icky. And bulk, which I always tell you, negotiated all the hardback books because they didn't want to mess with the paperbacks, and all the figurines and all the VHS, everything else except for the softback books. I got the whole thing for $20. Hope you get to go. It was fun. I want to hear about your experiences down below in the comments. Want to hear if you went and maybe your best find, what you thought, some extra tips so that we can all learn from each other for our next garage sale adventure. Thanks guys, and I'll talk to you next video.